Hey, it's Surfer of Life here in Helsinki. Now I'm gonna go and get a tattoo on my arm. My daughter's name is still missing, so now it's about time to get it done. I'm here in Helsinki, Old 7 Tattoo, and Jessika Elo is gonna do the tattoo. And I'm gonna have a conversation about pain management the same time she's doing the tattoo, so let's check it out. Welcome to Surfer of Life. Today I'm here in Old 7 Tattoo in Helsinki, and I am here with Jessika Elo, the artist herself. Welcome to Surfer of Life, and thank you for having me here. So what was your start as a tattoo artist?
Oh, it's a super long story. I'm not gonna bore you with the whole story because it's so long, but basically, since I was a little girl, I always knew how to draw. But I'm coming from the family which is not artistic at all, my parents. And although they never told me not to draw, but they never ever give me the push. So I always took that as a granted that someone can draw actually. And never ever have I thought to make a career or profession out of it. So I went to the university. I have a Bachelor of Marketing. I went the normal way. I tried like adult job in the office. I hated it, and then I realized it was like a one kind of accident occasion where I got my hand tattoo machine, and it felt so right, and it felt so like meant to be. And then I started to draw again, and then I started to practice on tattooing and drawing.
Do you still remember your first tattoo?
Yeah, it was kind of like this tribal, hideous thing on my friend's ankle.
How did it go, the first one?
Oh, well, it went well. So now I covered it up later because it was so hideous.
People connect tattoos to pain. And okay, you're actually making my tattoo at the same time while we are talking, and of course I feel it, and it varies where you hit actually the needle, and I guess the spots vary, but how often you see people really suffering when you're making those tattoos?
Well, I do a lot of first-timers, and they're always really nervous about the pain. But 99% of all first-timers said that they thought it was gonna hurt much more than it actually did. The tattooing actually, the first part when you start to tattooing, it kind of hurts, just because it's a shock for your body and it's a new sensation for your body. But after a while, it actually gets a little bit numb, like I think you at this point, and it's kind of like body's reaction of protection, so it will get a little bit more numb, and then actually after like 3 or 4 hours, then it's starting to hurt again. So okay. After a while, after a few hours, then it starts to hurt a little bit more. And of course, it's a placement. Where do you do your tattoo? In your on your body. Some places hurt much more than others.
Robert, you have a lot of tattoos yourself. How do you cope with the pain, or do you have pain at all when you're getting those tattoos?
I have pain, and I'm aware of the pain, but I can handle it. I'm not that sensitive, so I think it's mainly in your head, the pain, because it's more like irritating pain than really crucial, like really pain. I'm always comparing that kind of, it's really hard to tell what kind of pain it is because it's nothing that you feel before, like in any occasions. But I'm always like, it's kind of like itchiness that you cannot scratch. It's kind of like irritating pain that you want to hit me, like stop it, but you can handle it. It's not that painful. It's more like really irritating. And for me, it's that I can handle the pain. It hurts and I'm aware of it, but
yeah. You said it's mental, so do you have any sort of methods or something that you can cope with the pain, like mentally?
It's just like telling yourself that you're not gonna die for it. It's an outcome of something, like something really cool comes out of it. So it's just not like you have to suffer without any prize. So that's the thing maybe doing tattoos, that it's gonna be there forever. You don't have to monthly do that, like a haircut or something. You don't have to do it every month. It's just one time and it's hurt, but then you have something really, really cool out of it for the rest of your life. So it's kind of like it's worth the pain.
Yeah.
That's maybe.
How long you been a tattoo artist now?
Estimated 5 years. I don't count the first years when I was just practicing.
Okay. What about during these 5 years? Has there been any occasions that you needed to stop making the tattoo because of the pain?
Yeah, but then those are like longer projects, like sleeve projects or stuff like that we can continue it. We have like a sleeve, so we have so many appointments, so we actually can stop and continue next time. But only one time, it was when I was start tattooing, and only one time I had to stop, but I didn't finish a tattoo, and I was tattooing in Spain, and it was this Spanish guy. He couldn't handle the pain at all. It was he yelled, he cried, he did everything, and it I don't know, we had to stop. He said that it was the worst like pain ever that he could ever felt. So
you can actually get really emotional.
Yeah, he
I
did.
suppose.
It was.
So how did it end up then? Did he just had a halfway finished tattoo, or?
Yeah,
and that's it?
That's it, yeah. Like, he wasn't a friend of mine or anything. I have never met the guy after that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has like manned it up and really finished it somewhere. I have no idea. Or is he still having like this half tattoo in his back? I have no idea. But
what about your clients? Are they using different type of methods when they're dealing with the pain? Are they trying to breathe, or I don't know? Have you seen any?
Well, I am trying in my studio. I try to distract my clients. So I have like TV and Netflix. We have normally we have music. We are chatting. So I'm kind of like distracting the pain somewhere else. Then some people say that when they actually like kind of watch me tattooing, it eases the pain, and some people say that if they watch, it's gonna like hurt so much more, so they have to look away. All are individual, so it's really hard to say, just like but I think the distraction is one of the best ways to deal with the pain.
Are there any other fear factors when people taking tattoos? Pain is one, but what about blood or something else?
Not blood, the needle itself, but then I explained that the needle actually goes so little on your skin, so they relax on that. And then it's kind of like the whole situation of getting a tattoo and getting something permanent for the rest of your life. It's really exciting. So that as well, but not really much the blood or anything like that, no.
What about the story? There's many times there's story behind a tattoo. I've taken some tattoos and there's no story, they're just figures. Now, of course, I'm taking my daughter's name, I have my son's name on the other arm. But what else has it changed during the 5 years? Are people taking same kind of tattoos, or is there more story or something like that involved?
It depends. It hasn't changed at all. Maybe even more that people just want a pretty picture rather than a really meaningful tattoo. that is maybe more and more how it is now. It doesn't have to be the whole story behind it, or like it doesn't have to be the whole symbol of something. It's just like a really nice and pretty picture in your skin. Normally that's enough.
What has been the best reaction of your clients after the tattoo is done? Is there any special one?
Well, of course, I've been tattooing a lot of people, and when the tattoo is really meaningful and means something, I have had several times when customers actually burst into tears just because they were so grateful and thankful, and then it's finally there. Or when I'm, for example, covering scars, and I know the scars are like what they have, what they didn't like or were ashamed of, and then they're finally gone. So, but I think that's most powerful reaction that I have got.
There can be different type of stories behind scars.
Yeah.
So have you seen any really strong reactions when you touch the scar the first time?
Not really. Of course, it hurts a little bit more because the scar, it's damaged skin. So when you put the ink and needle, it hurts a little bit more. So then they're like that, but nothing else. It's more relief for them than anything else, than hiding the scars.
What about, we spoke already about the time, and after 3 hours it hurts again. How long usually, if you make a whole sleeve, how long you are able to make a tattoo at one time? How many hours in a row?
It just depends on the client and the picture, of course, but it easily I can do like 8 to 10 hours with breaks, of course.
What about yourself? If you do 8 to 10 hours, how can you stay focused that long period of time?
It's kind of like the thing as an artist. You can go kind of like trance stage, like that when I'm tattooing, I don't actually, I can concentrate 100% on tattoo and what I'm doing. So it's kind of like trance without like being on trance. I'm of course conscious all the time and know what I'm doing, but while tattooing, I can easily, that I don't feel anything else. I don't feel hunger, thirst, tiredness. I don't have to go to the bathroom, anything. And so I can concentrate 100% on that. And because I love what I do and I'm an artist, I love my job, so it's so easy to just go in there and just, I can keep going and going and going because it's something that I love to do. So
no distractions, you're in the zone. I was thinking about like we are talking now, so it's not interrupting your work.
I can do it. It's easy. I'm used to it because I'm a traveling artist. I work conventions and stuff, and you really cannot work if you are afraid of distraction.
Which one you like best? That people give you a straight photo, or you can do freestyle?
It depends on the customer and the photo, of course. Sometimes just the customer with a cool idea and not really specific photo and the style, then I can create something with my own style, and then they're like, yeah, we like your style and your portfolio. It's just like do your magic in a way. So it's kind of really nice. But sometimes if there's too much freedom, that's not good at all, because then you get you get so much ideas. So I think the balance is the best, that a customer has a cool idea but still let you do your own style, so they don't have that much strict, like what kind of style or what picture.
Even if you have a picture, like now we have this Fiona text, but now you are actually doing freehand.
Yeah, I'm doing
drawing. How often you do that?
With text, I'm doing that quite a lot. I'm a script artist. That means that I'm actually drawing normally the sketch on people's skin, and then I just started to tattoo there. So I don't use stencils that much. So this is something that I'm used to do. and I'm doing like these little patterns inside of the letters. So these are pretty cool to make freehand.
You're using different type of needles, and this is a bit thinner, I suppose.
Yes, it is.
And it actually feels a little bit different.
Yeah. But I'm like, if you sat on a, or if you're gonna sit or even sat in a bed of needles, it hurt much less than if you just like sat on a one single needle. So that's the thing. If there's many of them, it will hurt less than just like one tiny little fucker.
But for the listeners who hasn't taken any tattoos yet, this, especially here on my arm, it's not that bad. I can feel it all the time, but pain maybe not even a correct word for this. So maybe I've done some pain management in the cold water so I can handle it better, but or maybe you just have a softer touch, because far as I remember the other tattoos I've taken, I think they kind of hurt it more. So is there a difference between the different artists? Can it hurt more?
Definitely it can hurt more. It depends on the artist. Some artists, they don't care about the client, they just want to have like most effective way the picture and ink, and they have different techniques how to do it. Some are much more rougher than the others. I know I'm not that rough. I'm kind of like girly, sensitive touch in my hand, but yeah, it depends on the artist.
I appreciate this softer touch.
Yeah, a lot of my customers are.
For sure. Is there a social connection part of taking a tattoo? You see people that they want to be in part of a group or a tribe or whatever, so they take same kind of tattoos, or?
Well, yeah, well, that's the history where the tattoo, like the whole industry and everything, where they came from. It's the kind of tribal tattoos. But yeah, not that much in Finland than it is, like, for example, in like America or somewhere.
Yeah.
Not that much, but I make a lot of like friendship tattoos, or like sisterhood, like sibling tattoos. And then of course like motorcycle members, they normally do their, or like football fans, we do a lot of like logos, like Liverpool, we have done a lot of those lately for some reason, and those kind of tattoos, yeah.
What about yourself? You have pretty many tattoos. You said like many people want to take a pretty picture. What about your tattoos? Do they have a meaning or just a picture?
Most of my tattoos have some sort of meaning, but to me the meaning is also the fact that because I'm a tattoo artist and I have a lot of friends who are tattoo artists, so my friends or my really close friends or good friends are tattooing me. So the meaning is also for that I have to have a picture from her or he, the artist itself. So for me, the kind of the meaning is it's not only the picture, it's just who is making that and where and what. But normally I have some sort of meaning behind my tattoos, even though it's a hidden meaning.
Oh yeah. Now when you're actually doing the tattoo over there, I feel it way more than on the other spot.
Yeah, I know.
What has been the most painful spot for you to have a tattoo? Is that the too private question, or?
For me, it's the behind the knee. I was just recently, I have my own leg sleeve project going on, and it was the most painful ever. Behind the knee area, it's just so, and of course rib area is also really painful.
Okay.
And under boobs.
But you are still here, so it was painful, but
yeah,
not deadly painful.
No, not deadly painful.
What about the year 2018? Because so many people take tattoos. At least it's shown on the picture on the streets. So when you see people, a lot of people have tattoos. When I took my first one, I was 18 back then, because you needed to be 18, and
You
of
still
course,
have to be 18.
yeah, of course, people had tattoos back then, but not so often. So is it a good time for tattoo artists to be in the business?
It's really good time. The tattoos are coming more and more popular every year. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing as well, because now you can see that like 18-year-old, 19-year-old girls want their first tattoos on their neck or on their like palms or like hands or somewhere, and you're like, why? And it's just a thing that they can show off that they have tattoos.
Yeah.
That one you can see us so much often lately.
Okay.
But
What do you think about that?
I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I don't. Sometimes we have to say no. Just like get a tattoo first somewhere else, and then like, because normally it goes like that you are like covered in tattoos, and then you start to tattoo your neck or your fingers or.
Yeah.
But of course the society change I get it that like really soon it's super normal that people are having their first tattoo in really visible places, so we are doing it, but I'm interviewing the really like I want to personally interview that why you want to tattoo. If it's just like because I want to show it everywhere, then no, then it's not cool.
All right, so then you say no.
Well, at least I try my best to like
Yeah.
try to convince some other place.
What else? You're a tattoo artist. What else you do? Or does it take all your time at the moment?
Well, it yeah, kind of, but still I'm kind of like sometimes I get trouble because I love to do so much more stuff than just tattooing. But yeah, I'm a tattoo artist, and I'm actually I'm a merchandiser, merch seller of this Swedish band called Amaranth, and I'm traveling with them all over Europe. Then I'm a model. For example, I'm a face of this Viking jewelry series called Northern Viking Jewelry. And for example, and then I'm part of the model and part of Räki family, which is like urban street wear.
Right.
And I love to do so many things, so that's just like tip of the iceberg. But yeah.
So do you carry your tattoo pen? Is it pen? Is it called tattooing pen, or how do you call it?
It's machine.
Machine. Oh, my bad. So are you carrying with you when you're traveling?
Yeah, normally, yeah. Normally when I'm traveling I have my equipment. Of course it depends on what sort of travel I am. If I'm just gonna go to some sort of vacation, then I'm not gonna bring, but normally I do.
So what has been your biggest piece of art? Is it the whole body or something like a back or arm or?
The biggest, I think, like the back tattoo on the sleeve tattoo, of course. Yeah, not the whole body, no.
Not the whole body yet.
No, not yet.
What about you? There's a lot of tattoos going on and a lot of competition, I suppose, because there's a lot of tattoo studios, especially here I've seen in Helsinki already.
Yeah.
How do you get your clients? How do you pop
it's a
up?
good question, because I always ask especially my new ones. I have, of course, regular customers a lot, but I ask new ones that how did you find me, and where did you find me? And most of them is from social media, from Instagram, and from actually, they said that they've been Googling like a tattoo artist in Helsinki, and then they find me somewhere and like my portfolio and came from that. Or then just like from like kind of like these chat groups in Facebook. There has been some sort of, I have no idea what it is. I just heard that people are talking about me in some sort of chat groups as well. And that, of course, the like word to mouth. Like when you do tattoo, then somebody told their friends, and it's about that, the recommendations as well.
You are sponsored as well. Is it because of your making tattoos or because of something else?
Yeah, I have a monster sponsor. It's just they love the, of course it's part of the tattoos, but they love the whole image and brand what I'm bringing. I'm doing so much more than just tattoos. I'm everywhere and I'm doing so much more, so I think it's just a whole package.
So you have any future plans nowadays?
Oh,
what
yeah.
are you going to do in 5 years, let's say?
Oh, I'm gonna conquer the world next. In a really modest way. No, it's just I don't have like, okay, in 1 year I have to be there or there or there. I don't have that kind of goals. My goal is to have fun. I love life, so just enjoy life in general. Travel as much as I can, which I do right now, and meet so many new people, co-workers, like fellow artists, but also like normal people, but yeah, like everywhere, like all over the world. So that's actually my goal, to get even like of course this is the industry, this is the profession where you're never ready. If you feel like you're ready and okay, now I'm as good as tattoo artist that I can never be, then you should quit. Actually, you can always improve yourself. You can always be better artist. You can always do some sort of different technique. So you're never ready, and it's really great in this industry because you're never finished. You always can learn new. You can always be better, and that's how I want it to be. I can always improve and like myself as a tattoo artist. A tattooer.
Have you ever felt that, oh, this didn't go so well?
Of course I have off days that I don't feel like it, and it can be like everybody else was like, oh Jess, that is one of your best tattoos ever, and I was like, it's just like artists yeah. We work like that. It's just or then I can be like, oh, this is my masterpiece, and it's just like, okay, it's just some sort of like circle or something. It I don't know, our brain works really weird way.
So you can learn all the time. Do you learn from different artists then?
Yeah. That's because everybody has like different techniques and different kind of. It's, for example, like musician. You can always learn. Oh, he plays guitar like that, so you can kind of get some sort of inspired by that. So it's the same with artists. There's a lot of artists that I respect so much and I follow, and it's getting like, it's more like getting inspired of something than just like copying. It's just like getting inspired, and you want to be a better artist because there is so much good artists there. So it's kind of like, oh damn, I need to now like step up my game and do better and improve.
One thing really interests me in tattoos, because this seems to be, at least now when you're doing the lines, pretty simple for you for sure, but what about when there's mixed colors and things? And I always be wondering, because you're just kind of wiping it off, and for me as a client I don't even see anything. So how is it possible to actually recognize where to put the ink?
It's practicing. I have practiced. I know where the needle goes. I see it without seeing it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's years of practice.
Is it the only way to practice the human skin, or is there any other
There
way?
are fake skins, and well, nowadays the tattooers, we are lucky because we do have fake skins. Like back in the days, they had to tattoo on pig skin or themselves actually. Yeah. But now we do have fake skin, and we do have like fruits where you can tattoo. Okay. It's not like really the similar feeling, but it's quite, you can kind of like get the touch with the machine, how it works.
All right, so you use fake skin as well?
Yeah.
All right. What about you as an artist, because you're doing long hours?
Yeah.
I know. Have you ever, let's say, are you able to switch your mind off from your work, or you carry your work at home?
This is more a lifestyle than work. This is my identity. I'm a tattoo artist. So it never goes off. It's who I am. It's always me. Sometimes it's a problem, and sometimes you can actually, for example, there is a lot of like drugs and alcohol problems in this industry, because it's really hard to switch that off. You are always kind of in that creative mood and creating something, or some kind of like mentally working. So it's kind of hard sometimes, yeah. But it is who you are. So if you switch it off, then you have to switch yourself off. So it's kind of like it's mixed feelings.
How do you get your inspiration for new pictures or letters or whatever?
Mostly I got them from clients, actually. I kind of like what kind of vibes the clients is giving me, and then, but of course then I like from everywhere. There is not just the one thing. You can see like a car on the street, and oh, that car had kind of like really cool color in that, and then you spot that. Or some sort of, you see a door and it's really funny shape, and oh, maybe like if I do a letter P, it can go like that. So it's like constantly on, and you get inspired by everything. So it's not just the one thing. And of course, like I said, you get inspired, of course, as well. The other artists, what they're doing in the world, and new techniques and new stuff like that.
So do you have your notebook with you when you get inspired? Do you need to draw the things right away, or
No.
do you remember that stuff?
Normally I remember, and it happens so often, so I would have to be like all the time with my notebook. So no, some artists do have, but I don't.
The listeners hear the nice sound of the tattoo machine, not a pen, and we are continuing this letter. It looks very nice already. And as you said, the skin gets a bit numb, so it ain't that bad. Probably this is not the worst spot in the body anyways. But
No, it's pretty easy.
nice. But hey, it's great that you're sharing this experience, and it's so wonderful to be here. And we'll see how it goes. It looks very nice. What is the best part of being a tattoo artist?
Best part? It's really hard just to say one thing, because like I said before, this is me. It's not a profession. It's not a career. It's not just a job. It's who I am. It's my personality. It's my everything. So, but for me, I think the best part is to meet, of course, the art part. My job is to make pretty pictures on people's skin. So what would be the best in that? And maybe because it's variety of it. There is no day which is same as the something else. Every day is kind of like the new day, new art, new adventure. And for me, because I'm traveling a lot, so the best part is to travel around the world, to work with different types of people around the world. I have customers from different cultures, different language, different everywhere. So I think it's the richness of my profession and myself, just to experience and to have something like that.
What about when you see people walking on the street and they have your picture in their skin? How does it make you feel?
Of course it's weird. It's like, whoa, it's weird, but it's cool feeling. It's really cool. Of course it's I have made so many tattoos, so it's not for me anymore. Like, it's kind of not normal. It's always like the wow factor when you see your own art somewhere. But it's cool. It's really cool.
You have a beautiful tattoo studio here. I'm going to show you around a bit, and I hope the listeners are also watching this interview as well. Did you decorate it yourself?
Yeah, it's still not done. It's still not finished. Definitely not. Me and I'm a co-owner of this Old 7 Tattoo, and me and the other owner, we just decided when we started to create this studio that we want kind of like this dark walls, dark leather kind of vibe. We have a whiskey bar, we have a bar inside of our studio. It's a decoration purpose only, but still. And we have paint some of the arts of these walls, and then we collect around the world the art of other studios and other artists as well. So that's cool. But yeah, it's not finished or done, the decoration of it. It's just a mess of the things that we love, basically.
Is there any special studio you've been, like the most coolest studio you ever been, besides your own, of course? Yeah.
There are really cool studios around the world. There was I cannot remember the studio name in New York. It was kind of the loft, kind of warehouse kind of vibe into it, like brick walls, and it was so cool. That was really nice.
So what do you think when I come here to take this tattoo? Is it as well an experience as it is taking a picture?
I think so, just because, okay, this is what I do daily. This is my job and this is my lifestyle. But I can, like, for most of the customers, it's like once in a lifetime, not once in a lifetime experience, but they're doing it like once a year or once every 3 years. And it's an experience for them, and it's like really cool thing to have and have a tattoo, and they tell stories about that. And so yeah, I think for them it's kind of like my daily job and what I do, but for most of my customers it's something so much more, of course.
Does the conversation go deeper when the time passes by and you're been tattooing maybe 2 hours or more or whatever? Like, people opening up more? Because in the healthcare business it happens.
Yeah, it happens. Normally it starts like if they have some sort of tattoo with a meaning behind it, and they ask questions from me, and I'm really open person. So I actually, if they ask something, I explain to them like really openly, and I chat about my life and my everything but in me and who I am. So they actually start to talk about themselves as well. So I have heard so many great stories and met so many interesting people around the world. Like, so it's not just Finnish people, but around the world, and they have so much stories and so much things that I'm like, whoa.
Do you ever get emotional yourself when you listen to these stories?
Sometimes, yeah. Some tattoos are not really. The stories behind the tattoos are not that fun. Painful losses. They have lost someone who they really love. Abused. I have heard so many like really, really hard and difficult stories. So yeah, sometimes I get really emotional myself.
So it's sort of like being a psychologist almost when you're listening to people's stories.
Kind of like a bartenders and tattoo artists. But I love to listen. I love people and their stories. So for me, it's like part of this job. Why it's so cool, just to hear people out and probably help them if they require or need my help. I'm always listening, and because I have met so many people around the world, so I can maybe give them some sort of advices as well, and just listen what they want to say.
As you said in the beginning that I was asking about the pain management, how people deal with the pain, and you said like distraction is one thing, and I've noticed here now, because now when you're doing these shades, I suppose I can really feel it, and it's been numb, the arm, and I feel it the whole time, but when having conversation with you, it really does help.
Yeah, it does, because then you have to concentrate on something else as well besides just the pain, and so it's really actually helping to talk or chat with anything. It doesn't have to be any like really serious talks.
But so far, to be honest, it has been a great experience.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So if people are afraid of getting tattoos because of the pain, no worries, people.
you survive.
Yeah.
Everybody has survived.
Yeah. We are soon done here.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. I get this beautiful text here now. It's just step by step, just like the end is coming close, and very, very nice experience altogether. Thank you so much for this.